I don't know.
Are you filming yet?
Yes, I just started.
That has a rubber on the end.
It says REC, is that correct?
What's REC mean?
Record.
It appears these have ball bearings in them.
That sounds pretty ball bearing-ish.
So if you put the Zerk right there, and you glue down on top of that, it comes out of that hole.
It's going to go push in at the end.
And it's supposed to go inside that bearing?
Well, probably back in the day when it was built, it was. Looks like somebody tried to do it once before.
See, this is going to be sealing the shaft, and it's supposed to fill this thing up full of grease, and I guess go past this shield and get in there.
I guess I should put the camera on the actual bearing.
Yeah.
Instead of my hand.
Don't know it's you. Yeah, so I don't know how much grease will actually find its way into that bearing, but.
No, how does it sound? I mean, is it?
It don't stink. Smell test is good. So obviously it does not have the limiter on the side.
No, guess I'll take the other end apart.
What's on this other side, Fred?
I don't know. I'll have to take a look.
You did get the instruction manual, didn't you?
I bet somewhere in the instruction manual it doesn't say hit. Do not hit. It says do not hit with a hammer. You'll break the
Oh, is that what it was?
aluminum tabs.
I still don't want to come out. Let me just go over here on this side.
Oh, it's sliding right out.
Not really.
It's moving.
The whole thing's moving on the table. It is coming.
No, it did move out.
It is coming.
Out from hitting there.
Right here?
Yeah. Might want to put something bigger.
Oh. Thank you, Fred.
And we both have our safety shoes on, by the way.
Got mine on.
Safety shoes. Just in case this big ass piece of metal falls on our toes. We wouldn't want that, would we?
What's this?
That would be a bigger hammer.
Bigger hammer.
That's not a BFH, but almost BFH.
I think it makes much difference. I'd rather beat this side.
That's fine.
Close.
Oh, there he goes. There he goes. Oh, yeah. There he is, sliding it out.
I think that's the governor thing on this side.
What we got going on here?
I just had a flashlight actually worked around here.
I'm going to turn the light on.
Yeah. Okay, we got wiring over here. We can't just yank on this thing forever. So I think that's the governor switch thing there.
Yeah. So there's nothing, hang on, before we do anything else, there's nothing we're looking at now that would give us...
No indications of anything with air.
No. Why is this damn thing heating up?
I don't know. It all looks good in here.
I don't see any burnt wires.
You smell a little bit of smell on this side, but it is a running motor. You're going to get something, but it's definitely not heavily burnt at all. The windings all look good. I see no evidence of burning on anything.
Not from this side, you don't either.
No discoloration at all anywhere. Very, very little of any stink at all. You have to really get down here and smell to really smell anything. It's very, very light. I don't think there's anything wrong with this thing.
No.
The governor switch over here looks brand new. See, I'm not seeing anything in there that looks abnormal.
Abby normal.
There's a switch right there. The windings in there are good. So it doesn't really have any of the burnt electrical smell. You can see it smells like electricity's been happening, but you're not getting anything that's pungent smell of burnt wiring or anything like that.
Yeah.
And so this side over here, whoop, wrong direction. This over here is all nice and clean in here. I don't see anything at all that's wrong. Nothing. There's some kind of a number right there, whatever that means. I don't know if you can see the number with the camera. Turn the light off, maybe you'll see it. Now it gets really dark in there. Alright. Well, there you go. I don't really see anything that looks bad in here. To get it further apart, we'd have to pull these wires off and do that, and I don't think it's worth it. Alright, we'll look at it and come back.
Tatro machine. Alright, putting this thing back together.
It wasn't on the outside, it couldn't have been.
No, I think it was on the inside. Just,
See all the wear marks in here?
yeah.
The reflector got up the light on to see.
Well, no, I got it.
Over here, see, you only got the outside edge. So the outside edge is where it was hitting here.
Yeah.
The problem is the Zerk fitting's right here. That's the Zerk hole coming through there. When you put this down in there, it covers up the Zerk hole.
I don't know what the hell's going on.
So the grease all goes on the outside and just blows out here. Doesn't do anything.
That is weird.
It's supposed to, you think it's trying to pressurize that, but if you're blocking a hole with this, what the hell good is it?
Well, hang on. Maybe it's supposed to be there to put it in on the top side. See, now look, you don't have any grease coming in on the bottom side. Now they're coming in on the top side.
Shaft.
Yeah.
That totally blocks off the putting anything in the bearing.
Well, stupid thing came off of here. Where does it go? By the way, you know, nobody's greased it in forever.
It's never been greased. I had to pull this off the shaft, so that means it had to be on the inside.
Yeah.
I think I pulled it off. I know I pulled it off. But I don't think it was on the outside. It couldn't have been on the outside because there's no wear.
Yeah.
So this thing was on the inside. You know, it's got the rub marks on it. It's hit against the bearing. But this actually seals the shaft so nothing can get into the bearing.
Right. So I think that is
including the grease.
Well, I think that's a complete. This is a newer bearing versus the old.
Yeah, it's a sealed.
Ancient bearing, and they just didn't change the casting.
It's a sealed bearing.
Yeah. Look, that thing's never been greased once in its life.
Like I said, the guy said a lot of times you don't need to grease these things.
Right.
This one is not greasable.
Well, you missed the fun. We put everything back together already.
Not quite.
It's like,
We got this two-piece pulley we're doing. The mark came off, it was there once, and then it went away the second time. Okay, that's only lightly on there right now.
yeah.
Should I go all the way?
I think you should tighten her down. Pull that baby in.
It has a long ways to go.
It only has to go in long enough that it's tighting and not going to move.
It's a split collar.
All you're doing is a split collar holding the keyway in. It's keyed on. Oh no, I guess the wheel isn't keyed on, is it?
No, it's not.
So I think you need to go a little tighter.
Oh, thank you, Fred.
I would go tighter.
You would go
For
tighter?
me, if I would go tighter.
How many inch-pounds of torque we're putting on this?
Well, don't shear off the damn quarter-inch bolt.
Is that enough torque, Fred?
Yeah, I think that's enough torque.
Is it wobbling?
Wobbly wobbly.
We'll come back and retorque that after about 500 hours.
And you want to take this off and take a look underneath there, see if any of those things smell like they're heated. Seems you got the whole.
It doesn't
thing.
spin as freely as it used to now since I worked on it.
Did you break something?
You mean you want me to go back in here? I have to take that one off to put it in the machine. I have
Yep.
to wire it.
You have to take it off anyhow, so take it off now.
Yeah, but I take it off. Leave it on there so I can pick up off it because it's heavy. And all those guts just fall out.
Oh, bummer. So don't take it off.
So you want to go in here and look at it. Now we do have a little bit better vision of it right now, how it's supposed to be.
Yeah, compared to your bent over, sideways, up, down.
But that doesn't really help you because there's nothing marked over here. Now something else we can possibly do that we can't do. Like this.
Oh yeah. Hey, if you do it this way, it's not going to fall out.
It's
like
kind of
your
hard on
guts.
the cover though, but if we go like that, it's not as hard on the cover.
I keep
Now it's a
looking
lot
at-
easier to see and it doesn't fall in your
For
face.
some reason, this camera keeps wanting to go down.
Go down to what?
Goes just point down.
Could be you.
It could be me, but I don't know. I got no sense of, after my multiple operations, freaking neck. I can barely hold on to
Brain
stuff.
surgery, huh?
Yeah,
Has it helped any?
no. Made it worse. Made a freaking boatload
It
worse.
smells like it has electricity going through it. You don't have the light on, Fred.
You don't always have to have the
Well, there's the
light on.
instructions right there, Fred. What do those mean?
Well, that's unit L1 is.
You see
goes
this?
to T1.
This is a ground.
Nice.
You see this one here?
Yep.
This is number 2. This one's number 1. See, I marked them this time, so now I know I'll hook it up.
You want to double check you got them marked correctly?
Well, I took the plug out the side, wherever the side is over here, and that's how it was on there. Because Dad did not put a separate ground on the machine. So it goes right through the panel box over here.
Yeah.
See over here?
I really have to walk over there?
Yes. The light came on. You see that green wire?
Yeah.
It comes out of that hole right there. It snakes its way all through there, and then it goes into this hole right here and comes out over here.
What?
This white one.
That's
It's
the
the
ground.
white one, not the green one. The green one's power. That's actually hot up there.
What?
The white one that goes.
Green is supposed to be ground.
Green is a 3-phase for over here. The white one coming out of here, this one right here, the snakes, this is hot
Why
right
you
here
get your
too.
hand stuck in
It's
there?
only hot on the one side. It's only 110 volts there. If you go like that, you get the full 220. So this wire here is the ground, so it just makes a big loop, comes right here and goes straight in that way. So you can't take the damn thing off.
Yeah.
You can't split it. And there's no real ground bar on there anywhere to put a ground.
Yeah.
So for the 3-phase over there, I put the, there was a screw over here on the side I stuck on the wall right back in here. I put that wire terminal right there.
Yeah.
And that's my ground, which I'm not sure how grounded that really is. But that's for the 3-phase motor. It's way back there. If you touch that, you get shocked. You don't touch it. It's way back there. See, it's hidden.
And
So we have to wire this all back together with a machine where you got no access to see anything. Now the motor, I put the cylinder up. I over torqued these bolts because I used Harley torques, so they're like 30, 35 foot-pounds, and it said 17 when I looked up.
Oh.
I haven't gone back yet and dropped it down. It's a rubberized gasket in here. I think pretty sure now it's collapsed because it's been on there for 4 days. I haven't loosened up yet.
Mm-hmm.
I'll probably just leave it full torque or
Yeah.
just lightly bring
Well,
it
all
back.
it is gasket. It doesn't do anything.
Right, it just seals the motor up so it doesn't leak.
Your head gasket.
So the head is over here, Fred. It's bad. So this is the head. It dropped the valve. See, the valve dropped.
The flapper valve.
Well, that's the one reed right there. The
Yeah.
other reed goes here, and this cover plate that's broken right here holds it all down with that screw that's no longer got threads in the hole. And it, I'm not sure the part, it's probably behind me here somewhere. Somewhere's a bucket, pan full of
Oh,
parts.
did you ever think that maybe the damn motor's over?
So anyway, this failed. So what happened was this screw came loose.
Yeah.
It allowed the plate to go up and down, which allowed the O-ring to get all torn up, which really made it inefficient. The reed never did break, it's still in there. But finally the whole plate just broke off into 3 pieces and dropped into the head, and it jammed up into the piston up there. And there was a lack of compression distance between the piston and the head.
That kind of fucked.
It locked the motor up. It locked it up. Luckily I was standing right here when it did it, so it was only locked up for about 2 seconds, 3 seconds. Just, well, what's that? And flip the fucking switch off real quick. So, so they've redesigned this plate now, so now they have it's a rivet together design so it won't fall off. That looks really safe, Fred.
It's not very.
What's up there, Fred? Is there damage up there?
No, not really. Not a whole lot of damage.
There's damage up there. They've already seen it.
Well, then why am I?
So Fred worked on it, so that's the problem.
Oh, really? I get blamed for stuff I didn't.
Yeah, you walked by here one day. It's all Fred's fault.
So did you buy a new head then?
It's a new head plate kit with new head bolts too. It's a whole kit they make, a retrofit kit.
Nice.
So this is the retention device here.
Oh, that's not very good.
Tend to fail. And when the efficiency was down to about 20% pumping efficiency, I knew there was something wrong. This is the O-ring seal that seals the compression.
No. You mean the O-ring?
Wasn't working very well. And plus the reed here was just kind of floating around in the hole. It didn't really have any tension on it, which probably was another big leak.
Yeah. So could it be that the motor was spinning faster, more than it should have been, which is why it was heating?
Nope, electric motors have the ovens on them. And it should have been low load because wasn't making any pressure. On one stage. One stage was pressurized, the other stage wasn't. So this is on the first stage. So the first stage is very low pressure volume going into the second stage. So the second stage was doing the work.
Okay.
Now the second stage is pumping, that little piston is filling up the whole motor instead of the big one.
Okay.
Let me look over there.
Well, I don't know.
So when you got a big piston going into the small one, brings the pressure up and goes out, that's how it's supposed to be. When the big piston's not really doing anything because it's bypassing everything, that means the small piston is having to try 3 times harder because it's going from 0 pressure to full pressure.
Yeah.
And of course the machine maxes out at 175.
Yeah.
And mine's set at 178.
Okay.
179. So that means we've got a 1-stage compressor, 175 pounds. So that's probably hard on the motor doing that. That makes it run really inefficient.
Yeah.
But you're not doing anything with a big piston, so I don't know if there's a load on the motors anymore. I think the motor's probably not being worked as hard. So I still don't know why the motor's getting hot. So I don't know. So I guess we'll
You've asked for any suggestions?
I guess we'll figure it out. The parts will be in next week, so we got a whole week to figure out what we're going to do. I'm pretty sure it's going to go back together the way it was until something else fails.
Well, and we took the motor apart, went in there, we didn't find any like shot bearings or
There's nothing obvious wrong with it.
nothing obvious, so you know.
So the only thing I got to find out is how you can you tell if the starter windings are shutting off or not. There's an adjustment you have to do. That's not all to do.
All right. Okay.
All right.
That's it.
I'm gonna put a clean filter in it too, but just clean this old filter, but.